Heartwarming twist, millionaire Arab cancels wedding after incredible revelation of hidden danger. Amina's heart raced as she arranged the last of the flower arrangements in the cozy, bustling kitchen of her family's small Syrian restaurant. The scent of spiced shawarma filled the air, merging with laughter from her friends prepping for the wedding, a day she dreamt of since she was a little girl. With every passing moment, her anticipation grew. She was planning to marry Amir, her prince, a successful tech entrepreneur, in just a few days. It felt like a fairy tale, but no one knew about the storm brewing beneath the surface. Amir had something troubling on his mind, something he discovered that could unravel their happiness. As he paced through his shiny office, reading the chilling reports of how his family's wealth fostered biases against families like Amina's, the cold truth gripped him tightly. It drummed in his ears, a revelation that could sever the hope of the future they'd envisioned together. "Amir, what's wrong?" his friend Hassan asked, noticing the dark cloud overshadowing him. Amir forced a smile, hiding his turmoil. Inside, his heart ached for Amina, whom he loved with every inch of his being. But could he allow her to get dragged down by the weight of his family's history? As the wedding date approached, Amir made the impossible decision. He cancelled the wedding, sending shockwaves through both families and their communities. Outrage bubbled. People whispered, families felt betrayed, and Amina was left shattered. She collapsed on the familiar kitchen floor, the warm hazelnut tiles now cold beneath her. "Tell me this isn't happening," she cried, clenching her fists. Her mother rushed to her side, eyes wide with concern, unable to comfort her daughter's heartache. "He was supposed to be my forever." In the vibrant Chicago neighborhood, soothed by the blending voices of Syrian neighbors, everyone came together for Amina. "We are here for you," they said, rallying around the family who had poured their lives into this restaurant. Eyes were pretty sure the community held more hope than Amir ever could have imagined. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Moreover, Amir felt the full force of the fallout. He could almost hear the whispers turning into shouts in his circles, accusing him of denying cultural duty. With his chest tight and remorseful, he wandered back into the restaurant that meant everything to Amina's family. The walls echoed kindness, persistence, and years of sacrifice. And then, in a critical moment, he confronted Amina's father over a cup of bitter coffee. He heard about the long nights and tireless days that molded Amina into the woman she was. It struck Amir like a gale-force wind. Could he let love slip away because of fear? Amina was worth more than status. As Amir fought through his prejudice, flashes of pain crossed Amina's eyes, each one a reminder of what was at stake. Just then, Amir realized, his heart had never really left the warm embrace of Amina's family, but as he found clarity, Amina, still reeling, faced her own crossroads every moment, guided by overwhelming sadness and thoughts of her shattered dreams. Would she fight for love, or would society's chains seal her fate? The tension of decisions loomed as she stood at the brink of everything they once held dear, wondering if true love could survive amidst turmoil. Amina stumbled through the throngs of family and friends, each face a mix of sympathy and disbelief. The restaurant felt different now, shrouded in shadows of what could have been. The laughter that once filled the air was replaced by murmurs of disbelief over Amir's shocking decision. She could hardly breathe, her heart heavy with questions, anger, and a profound sense of loss. "What will I do now?" she whispered to herself, tears brimming in her eyes. The vibrant colors of the flowers she had carefully chosen for her wedding felt like a cruel joke. Her mother, Fatima, embraced her tightly, sharing quiet sobs, the kind that blended their pain. "Life doesn't always turn out as we hope, Habibti," she said, her voice trembling. But you are strong. We will get through this, together. But Amina couldn't shake the feeling that her dreams were slipping further away. The love she envisioned with Amir and the life they had begun to build felt like a faded memory. A few streets away, Amir sat alone in his sleek apartment, the walls echoing his decisions. He had never imagined canceling the wedding would create such a chasm between him and Amina. Guilt consumed him entirely. He could see her bright smile, her laughter, and it tormented him. Was I wrong? He asked Hassan, who had joined him on the couch, trying to give him some comfort. I thought I was protecting her from the weight of my family's past. Hassan looked aghast, shaking his head. You can't protect her from your feelings, Amir. Amina deserves the truth from you, not your fears. You have to talk to her. Each word felt like a punch, breaking through Amir's wall of self-doubt. But how can I face her? I shattered her dreams. What could I possibly say? I'm sorry for taking her heart and throwing it away. The thought left him hollow. In that moment, he realized he had a choice. Love meant facing not only his fears but Amina's as well. He stood up, a flicker of resolve lighting his eyes. I have to go to her. Meanwhile, Amina's thoughts were a chaotic storm. Every corner of the restaurant reminded her of Amir. Memories flooded in, their small talks, shared stories, even the way he would brush his hand against hers without hesitation. Just then, the door swung open with a creak, and in walked Amir, his face a mix of desperation and determination. Amina felt a rush of emotions, a blend of anger, disbelief, and a glimmer of hope stirred within. What are you doing here? She shot, trying to mask her vulnerability. Her voice shook. Amina, please let me explain, he began, but she cut him off, her heart racing faster than ever. You cancelled our wedding, Amir. How can you stand there and expect me to just talk? He took a step forward, desperation painting his features. I did it to protect you, but I realized that decision was made from fear, not love. I need to tell you everything, the truth of my family, my past. You deserve that. Amina's breath hitched. Could there truly be a chance for understanding? As she looked into his eyes, the deep regret swimming within, she felt her heart flutter and tremble. But was she ready to open that door again? Was love even enough to bridge the chasm that had formed between them? They stood there, both trembling on the edge of vulnerability, a moment that could either forge their connection or send them tumbling apart for good. Would she dare to listen? Would he find the words that could mend what had been broken? Amir inhaled deeply, the air thick with tension. He knew he was walking a tightrope, balancing fear and hope. Amina, please just hear me out. I understand if you're angry, but I need you to know why I made that choice. Her posture was tense, arms crossed tightly, as if she could physically shield herself from the truth he was about to spill. The brilliant colors of her wedding attire glimmered in the restaurant light, taunting the heaviness of the situation. What could be so important that it justifies ruining our lives? She challenged, her voice rising in an emotional crescendo. I didn't just walk away, I was scared, Amina. His voice cracked slightly, but he pressed on. My family has a history, one that I have tried to escape. Decisions were made for me long before I was ever born, and they haunt me. I thought if I pushed you away, I could keep you safe from all of that. Amina's eyes narrowed, disbelief mixed with a flicker of empathy. Safe? You think leaving me at the altar was protecting me? Do you even hear yourself? I know, he admitted, stepping closer, his gaze unwavering. But my life is complicated. My parents, my father, his voice faltered, the weight of his lineage pressing on him. He's involved in things that could put you at risk. I thought that by canceling the wedding, I could shield you from a future filled with pain and betrayal. She sucked in a breath, the truth hitting her like a cold splash of water. You think running away was the answer? You were supposed to fight for us, Amir. For our love. I know, he whispered, desperation coating his words. But I was fighting my demons. I didn't want to pass that battle on to you. It wasn't just about us, it was about your safety, your happiness. You deserve so much more than the mess of my life. Silence loomed as Amina took his words in, her breath a shallow rise and fall. He saw the internal struggle flickering on her face, fear battling against the love she still held for him. But what if you fighting for us is the only way to truly protect me? She countered, her tone softening slightly, a hint of vulnerability emerging. I want to fight for us, I really do, he said, hope seeping back into his voice. I realize now that keeping secrets only kept us apart. I want to be honest with you. I want to share everything. If we can face this together. Amina hesitated, feeling the tempest of emotions swirling within her. Could she truly bear the weight of his past? Would uncovering the truth about his family drown them or bind them closer together? Finally, she spoke. What are you hiding, Amir? What do I need to know? He took a step closer, the gleam of determination returning to his eyes. There are things about my family that could change everything you think you know. I need to show you, but you have to promise me one thing. What? She asked, her heart racing. Promise me you won't run away from this, no matter how dark it gets. As she pondered his request, the reality of their situation hung heavy in the air. Amina searched Amir's eyes. Did she have the strength to confront the shadows of his past? Was she willing to unravel these secrets, knowing it could lead her to a place of greater heartbreak? With vulnerability stretching between them like a fragile thread, she took a deep breath. What are you going to tell me? Amir hesitated, eyes clouded with emotion. The truth he carried was more than just his family's past, it was a revelation that could either mend their hearts or tear them further apart. Amina, he began, voice trembling slightly, you might not be ready for what I'm about to say. Strings of fate tightened as he prepared to unveil the hidden dangers surrounding his family, and in that moment, the air felt electric with possibilities. Amina, Amir began again, his voice steadier this time, yet laced with uncertainty. It's not just my father. It's the people he's involved with. They're dangerous. I've seen them do terrible things to protect their interests. I thought, if I pulled away from you, it would make it easier. You wouldn't have to bear that risk. The color drained from Amina's face, but Amir pushed on, needing her to understand. My father, he's not just any businessman. He's connected to a world that thrives on power and influence. People have disappeared around him when they've crossed the line. I didn't want that for you. Her breath caught in her chest. She felt the weight of his words pressing down on her, pushing her emotions into a whirlpool. Amir, why didn't you tell me this before? We could have faced it together. You left me to navigate this storm all alone. It was naive of me. I thought that love alone could protect you. I thought by leaving, I'd be sparing you from potential heartache. His hands were clenching into fists, his desperation spilling out. But the truth is I was afraid, Amina. Afraid of dragging you into a life filled with shadows. Tears glistened in Amina's eyes, a tempest of frustration and sadness battling within her. You invite me to be part of your life, Amir, but when things get hard, you shield me like I am some fragile ornament. I'm not helpless, I'm your partner. You need to trust that. The flicker of anger on her face ignited him. I just wanted to shield you from the dark parts of my life. I've seen what this does to people, and I didn't want that for you, or for us. His breathing was quickening, and he felt the walls closing in. Yet in Amina's gaze, he could see the spark of resolve igniting amid her hurt. If we're going to make this work, you have to trust me just as much as you want me to trust you, she said firmly, stepping closer until there was almost no space between them. We will face your family, your past, and whatever danger lies ahead together. Amir's heart battled against the walls he had built. There was power in her words, a tenderness that filled the cracks in his resolve. Would it be enough? Myriad visions of their future flickered through his mind, each shadowed by the haunting presence of his family's influence. What if it's too late? He whispered, a haunted expression filling his features. What if they come for you? Amina reached for his hand, her fingers intertwining with his. Her touch was grounding, thawing the ice that threatened to envelop him. Then we fight, Amir. But we fight together. And that change starts now. Suddenly, the restaurant around them felt alive with possibilities. The once suffocating air was infused with a new resolve, a path they could carve through the chaos that lay ahead. But just as he felt a flicker of hope igniting, Amir's phone buzzed violently on the table between them. He glanced at the screen, dread creeping into his gut. A name flashed: his father. Answer it, Amina urged, her eyes earnest, but he hesitated. He felt the tension build again, the certainty that there were consequences waiting on the other side of that call. He took a deep breath, caught in the dilemma between the life he desperately wanted to create and the shadows that would not let him go. Would facing his father now bring them closer to the truth or draw the darkness upon them? With her eyes boring into his, he wondered if he was ready to step back into that world. Would he ruin everything, or finally unveil the hidden dangers keeping them apart? The seconds stretched, each tick of the clock echoing in his heart. What would he choose? Amir's heart raced as he stared at the buzzing phone, his pulse echoing in his ears. Amina's grip on his hand tightened, a solid reminder that he wasn't alone in this. The world seemed to slow, the bustling restaurant around them fading into a hushed blur. He inhaled sharply, willed his fingers to reach for the phone, and swiped to answer. The moment his father's voice came through the receiver, it was cold and commanding. Amir. We need to talk. Now. About what? Amir's voice trembled slightly, betraying his anxiety, despite his best efforts to appear strong. About you and that girl you're seeing. Meet me at home. His father's tone left no room for argument. Amina's eyes widened as she processed the weight of the words. You can't just go to him without a plan, Amir. It could be dangerous. Amir nodded, but deep down, he felt the walls closing in again. I can't ignore this. He'll only escalate things if I do. He took a deep breath, feeling the pull between loyalty to his family and the desire to protect Amina. Okay, she said, her voice softening. Then let us go together. I won't let you face him alone. The determination in her voice sparked something within him. He had never considered taking Amina with him to confront his father. But the thought of traversing that dark territory always filled him with dread. Could he really expose her to that? As they exited the restaurant, the cool evening air hit them with a refreshing chill. Amina walked close beside him, their fingers still entwined. With each step they took, his stomach knotted tighter. The drive home felt eternal, as he chatted with Amina about anything mundane topics, distracting himself from the looming confrontation. They parked outside his family home, its grandeur feel like a wall looming over him, an unyielding fortress of influence and power. Amir hesitated, glancing sideways at Amina. There was fear in her eyes, but also an unwavering resolve. It made him realize how much this moment mattered, how the stakes were higher than ever. What if they're waiting for us? What if, he started, but she cut him off gently. Whatever happens, remember we are in this together. Her words acted like a salve to his frayed nerves. As they approached the front door, Amir's heart hammered in his chest. Each step echoed in his ears, a countdown to the unknown. He pushed the door open, the familiar scent of the house mixing with the tense atmosphere. Amir. His father's voice boomed from the living room, filled with a weighty authority. You finally decided to show up. Amir swallowed hard, his mouth dry as sand. We need to talk, father. He dared to glance at Amina, her reassuring nod providing a flicker of comfort. About what? His father leaned back in his chair, an unsettling smile stretching across his lips. I hear you've been making some questionable choices. The words hung heavy in the air, charged with unspoken threats. Amir felt Amina's presence beside him, a lifeline. He took a steadying breath, focusing, gathering his thoughts even as tension crackled like electricity between them. It's about Amina. And about your plans. His voice was steadier than he expected. You need to understand she's part of my life. His father's expression darkened, and in that moment, Amir knew he was on the precipice of a disaster or revelation, a crossroad that could define everything. Amina squeezed his hand tighter, and in that shared grip was unyielding courage. Had he just plunged them both into a danger he couldn't control? Or would they rise against the tide together? And just as Amir opened his mouth to speak again, a sharp knock echoed through the silence, cutting through the tension like a knife. Amir's eyes widened. "Who is that?" he asked, uncertainty threading through his voice. No one had knocked like that in years. What now? Would this new turn lead them to safety or deepen the chaos around them? The knock resonated deep within the walls of the house, almost mocking Amir's fragile bravado. He glanced at Amina. Her eyes were wide, a mixture of fear and curiosity swirling in them. His heartbeat surged anew, instinctively feeling the dread. "Stay close," Amir whispered, tugging her hand as he turned toward the door. The echo of his father's voice faded, replaced by the intensive thud of uncertainty. He paused before opening it, briefly considering the potential consequences. With no more time to lose, he pulled it open. Standing before them was a woman, striking in her appearance with an intensity that radiated from her emerald eyes. Her presence demanded attention, and Amir felt a chill run down his spine. "Mr. Hassan," she addressed his father, her voice bold and polished. "We need to talk." His father straightened in his chair, an unexpected flicker of surprise crossing his face. "Rachel. I wasn't expecting you." "Clearly," she replied, stepping inside as if it were her home. Her eyes grazed past Amir and Amina, a knowing look flashing briefly at the couple holding hands. "This is urgent." The air grew heavier with every passing second. Amina shifted by Amir's side, her grip tightening as they exchanged unsure glances. "What do you want?" Amir couldn't help but sound defensive. He was tired of feeling thrust into someone else's game. "I know about Amina," Rachel said, throwing a knife of tension into the mix. "And I know about your father's plans." She turned to Amir, her expression softening slightly. "This isn't about you and her, not just yet. It's about something much bigger." "What do you mean?" Amir felt his world constrict, every pulse of adrenaline skipping through him as uncertainty gnawed at his gut. Suddenly, Amir's father stood. "Get out, Rachel. You don't belong here," he barked, but Rachel held her ground. "I belong wherever the truth lies," she shot back, a fierce glint in her eye. "You don't control everything, not this time." The escalating argument wrapped around Amir, squeezing the air from his lungs. He was caught between the simmering rage of his father and the impassioned stance of this unexpected intruder. "Amir, we don't have much time," Rachel continued, her voice now low yet urgent. "There's more at stake than you know. Your father is trying to protect you, but it's not as simple as that. There are people who will hurt Amina if you don't find a way to break free from this web." Amina shuddered slightly at the words. Amir didn't realize how tightly he had been holding her hand until he felt her tremble. The thought that anyone could cause Amina harm ignited a wildfire of determination within him. "What do you mean?" he repeated, shocking himself with the volume of his voice. "Who are they? What do you know?" Rachel's expression softened again, but before she could answer, his father interjected, his tone a mixture of anger and fear. "I said get out. You have no right to interfere in my family's affairs. This does not concern you." The intensity in the room reached a boiling point. Amir was torn between the urge to find out more and the fear of driving Amina deeper into danger. He felt her pulse quickening next to him, and suddenly it clicked: the stakes had risen, and it was no longer just about him and Amina, it was about survival. "Whoever they are, we'll face them together," Amir declared, looking at Amina, then back at Rachel. "What do we need to do?" Rachel's gaze shifted from Amir to Amina, a hint of respect flickering in her eyes. We need to meet. I can explain everything, but first. Before she could finish, the sound of shuffling footsteps echoed from the hallway behind them. Another figure stepped into view, and Amir's heart sank. It was his brother, Malik, eyes narrowed with suspicion. Why are you all here? Malik demanded, filling the air with a sense of threat. Amir felt the tension shift again, the looming storm ready to unleash chaos. Would they finally uncover the truth together? Or would his family's secrets tear them apart? Malik's sharp gaze cut through the room, assessing the unexpected group like a hawk surveying its territory. What is going on? He pressed again, stepping further into the dim light. His presence turned the atmosphere electric, tension rising like a tide ready to crash. Malik, it's not what you think, Amir rushed to explain, but the words felt hollow, lost in the weight of the moment. Rachel interjected, her voice firm yet calm. Your brother is right to be concerned. We're in a dangerous situation here, and if we don't act fast, it could cost us everything. What are you talking about? Malik spat, annoyance lacing his tone. You think I'm going to stand by while you— Enough. Amir shouted, startling everyone. Amina squeezed his hand tighter, grounding him in a wave of raw emotion. We need to unite, not fight among ourselves. Malik, just listen. Rachel knows something important. About Amina. Malik's brows furrowed in confusion, but he remained silent. Amir could see the flicker of concern growing in his brother's eyes, mixed with protectiveness and anger. Your father, Rachel began, her voice cutting through the tension, is trying to shield you both from a truth he believes is best left buried. But Amina is caught in the crossfire. There are people watching her. People who want to use her and the Hassan name, to get what they want. Amir felt himself grow cold. What do you mean? Who are they? Rachel took a step forward, her emerald eyes locking onto Amir's. I wish I could give you a clear answer. But there are factions at play here, dangerous ones. Your father's connections could be exploited, and Amina, she might be their target. They might think she's the key to unlocking something even bigger. His heartbeat raced. He could feel the heat rising in his cheeks. We can't let that happen. Malik finally broke his silence, anger bubbling below the surface. And what do you propose we do? Just run off with her and play hero? You think this is some kind of game? No. But standing here arguing isn't helping. We need a plan, Amir insisted, desperation seeping into his voice. He could not lose Amina. Everything they had fought for rested on keeping her safe. Rachel, Malik said, shifting his tone to one of cautious curiosity, if what you're saying is true, then why come here? Why involve us? Can't you handle this alone? Rachel took a deep breath, her resolve wavering just a bit. Because I can't do this without you. I need you both to understand the gravity of this situation. We're outnumbered, and I believe that together we can outsmart whoever's after Amina. But we all have to trust each other fully. Amir glanced at Amina, whose face had paled. He could see the anxiety swirling in her eyes, but there was also a glimmer of strength. He reminded himself that they were in this together. I trust you, Amina. We'll find a way, no matter what. The air simmered around them, an electric current binding them in this chaotic moment. Then it settled, Rachel finally declared. We have a target on our backs, but we can turn the tables if we're united. Suddenly, the walls felt as if they were closing in, compressed by the knowledge that danger lurked just out of sight. Amir looked from Rachel to Malik and then back to Amina. So, what's our first move? Rachel smiled, though it was tinged with urgency. First, we need to draw them in. Make them think we're unguarded, that's when we'll strike back. Draw them in? Malik echoed, skepticism lining his voice. Yes. It might be the only way to protect Amina for good, Rachel said, determination glistening in her eyes. As they each weighed their options, a sense of dread nestled in Amir's chest. The reality of their situation crashed over him like a wave. In order to protect Amina, they were about to step into a much darker game than any of them anticipated. But then a sudden thought struck him: what if they didn't just draw the enemy in? What if they revealed deeper secrets, putting not only Amina but also their entire family at risk? An uneasy silence crowded the room, thick with unspoken fears. Would they really be ready to take such a leap? Amina whispered, her voice trembling slightly as she glanced outside, the sky darkening topaz overhead. What if drawing them in hurts you more than it helps? His heart sank. He realized then how very uncertain the path ahead truly was. The question lay heavy, wrapping them all in apprehension. What dangers awaited them just around the corner? The room fell quiet as Amir absorbed Amina's words. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him, and he felt his stomach churn. Did they truly have the strength to face this unknown enemy lurking in the shadows? Malik paced the length of the space, the faint creaking of the floorboards echoing his agitation. We can't just sit here contemplating the what-ifs while the clock is ticking. We need to move. There's the urgency we need, Rachel said, glancing at Malik with a look of gratitude. But we must be smart. If we're going to draw them in, we need a bait they can't resist. What do you suggest? Amir asked, determination seeping back into his voice. He needed to channel his fear into action. Rachel paused, her fingers tapping her chin. Amina should be our priority. Perhaps establishing a facade of normalcy around her. The less they think she's aware or guarded, the more likely they'll take the bait. Amina's breath hitched at the realization, a storm of emotions crossing her face. You mean I'd have to put myself out there? Like a target? Yes, Rachel replied. But you won't be alone. We'll create a safety plan, but you need to act like nothing is wrong. No, Amir countered, his voice firm. Amina is the last person who should be in the spotlight. Drawing her in will put her even more at risk. Then this is where trust comes in, Malik added. We're all in this together. Amina, if you're strong enough to stay sharp under this pressure, we'll have a better chance. Amina nodded slowly, visibly torn. She sensed the gravity of her role and the fear it brought. Would she be able to hold it together if things went awry? Let's say we agree, Amir said. What if they catch wind of what we're planning? What then? Rachel took a deep breath, steadying her nerves. Let's not think of failure, think of the impact we're making. We're not just fighting for Amina's safety, but for our family reputation. If we fall apart now, everything that we hold dear risks being lost. Amir studied his sister-in-law, trying to gauge her confidence. So what's the next step? We need to set the stage. We'll create a public event. Something that draws attention to Amina, Rachel said, her voice growing stronger. A charity gala, perhaps. It'll not only put her in the public eye but also allow us to monitor potential threats without them noticing. Malik leaned forward, his expression turning serious. We'll need a guest list. And for God's sake, we need to be on guard. If they come, we must flank Amina to make sure they don't get a chance to reach her. Do you really think we can pull this off? Amir asked, doubt still lurking in his heart. Rachel placed a reassuring hand on Amir's shoulder. We can't let fear dictate our actions. We have to stand up and take control. Together, we have strength. As Amir surveyed their determined faces, a flicker of hope ignited within him. Maybe they could outsmart the dangers ahead. But as that hopeful glow spread, a rush of sentimental warmth washed over him, only to be abruptly quelled by the pang of anxiety. Okay, let's do it, Amir said, now more resolved than ever. But I need all of you with me. Amina smiled softly, the corner of her mouth quirking up in response to his bravery. I won't let you down. Just then, the sound of shuffling footsteps echoed outside the door, stirring the tension back to life. They all froze, eyes darting toward the entrance. What was that? Amina whispered, gripping Amir's arm tightly. Amir's heart raced, his resolve wavering as the unknown threatened to engulf them once more. Was their plan falling apart before it even began? In that moment, he realized, they were no longer just protecting Amina, they were fighting against time, and every second counted. But could they truly outmaneuver the shadows closing in around them, or would their first misstep cost them dearly? The door rattled. Someone was trying to get in. Would they be ready for whatever came next? Amir felt his heart thud in his chest as he exchanged quick glances with Malik and Rachel. The tension in the room thickened, each second feeling like an eternity. Amina's grip on his arm tightened, her eyes wide, reflecting a mixture of fear and determination. Before anyone could react, Malik rushed toward the door, pressing his ear against the cool surface. "It's probably nothing, but we can't take chances," he whispered, his voice steady but urgent. Rachel nodded, moving to join him. "We should be prepared. Whatever is out there, we need eyes on it." Her calm demeanor helped stabilize the group, but Amir could still feel the tremors of worry coursing through him. "Maybe we should look," Amir suggested, though fear tightened his throat. He didn't like the idea, but standing still felt even worse. "On three," Malik whispered, pushing down any panic. 1, 2, 3. With a sudden push, Malik swung the door open. A gust of cold air rushed in, almost sending him stumbling backward. They peered into the hallway, which seemed deserted. The shadows danced along the walls, yet something felt odd, too quiet, too empty. "It's clear," Malik said cautiously, stepping out. The echo of his footsteps felt disproportionately loud, as if the house itself were holding its breath. Amir hesitated, catching Amina's eye. "Stay close," he said firmly, sensing a protective instinct surge within him. Rachel shuffled her feet, keeping alert. "Let us check the perimeter. If they're here, we need to know fast." Together, they moved down the dimly lit corridor. Every creak of the floorboards beneath their feet heightened their senses. Then, as they rounded the corner, Malik stopped abruptly. A figure stood at the far end of the hall, a tall man cloaked in darkness, his face obscured. Amir's heart raced. "Who are you?" he called out, his voice steady despite the pulse roaring in his ears. The man didn't move, keeping his distance. A moment of silence stretched, heavy and laden with tension. It was as if time itself had stopped. Then, in a voice like gravel, he spoke. "I'm not here to hurt you." "Prove it," Amir shot back, every instinct urging him to protect Amina. "Your sister-in-law is in danger. The life you're planning could become a trap," the stranger said, stepping tentatively closer into a stream of light. His features started to become clear, revealing sharp cheekbones and eyes too somber for comfort. "What do you mean?" Amir demanded, fists clenching at his sides. "The charity gala," the man continued, unperturbed. "It's not just a social event. You need to know what you're inviting into your life. They will come for her, no matter what." Malik stepped forward, brows furrowed. "Who sent you?" "I have no time to explain everything," the man said urgently, glancing back as if feeling the eyes of unseen watchers. "Just promise me you'll rethink your plan. Whatever you do, don't let Amina alone in that crowd." Amina stepped from behind Amir, her voice trembling. "Why should we trust you? How do we know you're not part of this?" The man seemed to hesitate, the weight of her question pulling down his confidence. "Because," he replied, struggling with something in his pocket. "I'm here on borrowed time. And if you see this, you'll understand." With that, he pulled out a small device, a black phone with a cracked screen. The signal on the screen flickered, as though it was barely functioning. Amir took a cautious step forward, curiosity piquing despite the danger. "What is that?" Amir asked, glancing at Amina, whose wide eyes matched his own. The man's gaze darted again. "Evidence. But you'll need to trust me if you want to uncover the truth behind this danger. Amir felt the weight of decision pressing down on him. Fear battled with his instincts, and he could feel everyone's eyes on him. Would they risk trust with a stranger? As the air crackled with tension, Amir's heart thundered louder than ever. What if this man was their key to unraveling the danger threatening Amina? Or was he leading them into deeper trouble? Make your choice quickly, the man urged, urgency flooding his words. You won't have long. What would Amir decide? In that pivotal moment, everything was at stake, but the real question loomed larger: could trust lead them to salvation or destruction? Amir's heart pounded in his chest as he faced the mysterious man standing before him. Amina's worried eyes pierced through the tension, pleading for clarity. The stakes had never felt higher. Who are you? Amir demanded, his voice steady despite the storm swirling within him. The unknown figure shifted uneasily, hands trembling slightly as he held the cracked device. My name is Samir, he finally replied. I had to come. If you go through with the charity gala, you will be inviting danger. Your father's enemies are watching. Amina stepped closer, her curiosity piqued. What do you mean watching? Why is my safety connected to a party? Samir met her gaze, his expression sincere and urgent. The gala will signal weakness. It will show your father's rivals that they can take advantage. They see the Hassan name as an entry point into a bigger scheme. You don't realize how powerful they are. Amir felt a chill creep up his spine. The room's atmosphere shifted, folding in on itself like a heavy blanket. What do you want from us? Malik interrupted, irritation flaring. If you're trying to warn us, what's your motive? I'm trying to save you, Samir said, voice softening. I know the darkness your family is entangled in. Trust me, if you proceed, they will come for Amina. Why should we believe you? Amir shot back, frustration mingled with fear. Just because you showed up now, what proof do we have? As Samir hesitated, Amir noticed a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes. What I'm saying is real. I wish I could explain everything, but time isn't on our side. When I leave this place, I don't know what could happen to me. But this, he pointed at the device, shows the conversations that could cripple your family. It could ruin your father. Amir's pulse quickened. Show us. Samir stepped closer, allowing Amir to see the screen's flickering light. This is evidence of covert dealings arrangements that have put Amina at risk. Your father can't protect you from this. I don't care what's on that screen, Malik interjected, frustration bubbling over. I trust my family. You're a stranger. Amina is linked to this mess through her connection to Amir, Samir shot back, his voice rising. You think this isn't something to worry about? If you love her, you need to listen. Enough. Amir raised his voice, feeling the weight of their collective worries bearing down on him. We can't let fear dictate our actions, but we have to proceed carefully. He turned to Amina, whose expression mirrored his uncertainty. Do you want to continue with the gala? Or can we devise a plan to keep you safe while we investigate? Tears welled in Amina's eyes at the thought of surrendering her dreams. I've always dreamed of helping others through events like this. But if it means risking my life, maybe we should listen to Samir. Are you really willing to give up, Amina? Amir asked gently. No. But I also can't bear the thought of endangering anyone I love. Amir felt something shift within him. In this turbulent, demon-infested space, he was reminded of the love that connected them all, familial and romantic. They didn't just owe it to themselves, but to their communities too. Together, they could rise up against any threat. Okay, Amir said, voice steady. We will work together, then. Samir, help us navigate this. Just know that the clock is ticking, and we need to act fast, Samir warned. Then let us create a plan, Malik said, regaining his focus. If we can draw their eyes away from Amina, we can trap whoever's behind this. With a pulse of anxious energy running through the group, plans began to take shape. Each suggestion brought forth contributions, hopes, and alignment as they coalesced into something stronger than any one of them could have achieved alone. The following days were filled with a whirlwind of activity, as they prepared for the gala with the intent to outsmart the lurking danger. Each of them played their part, Amina using her charm to draw attention, Malik securing protective contacts, and Amir coordinating with Samir to ensure safety measures were woven throughout the event. As they united with purpose, the warmth of hope began to settle amidst the anxiety. Then the night of the gala arrived, and Amina stood before a lavishly decorated gathering hall, heart racing with both excitement and trepidation. She wore a stunning gown made of fabric that whispered secrets with each movement. She captured everyone's attention, yet she felt empowered by the love and support surrounding her. As the event began, smiles exchanged and laughter echoed all around. Amir stood close by, beaming pride and admiration for Amina. It was a night full of hope and purpose. If they could overcome this together, they could transform the shadows of their circumstances into a guiding light. Yet, as anticipated, the dark figure of danger lurked in the background, unseen. Cameras flashed, voices swirled, and high spirits soared, all oblivious to the approaching storm, but together they remained vigilant, and with a single glance exchanged between Amir and Amina, they confirmed whatever lay ahead, they were ready to face it together. The night surged forward, filled with warmth, laughter, and solidarity, serving as a launching pad for the fight against darkness and the pursuit of their shared dreams. They were stronger than they had ever realized, and together they would conquer what lay ahead. As the music played and people danced, the new beginning ignited in their hearts a future crafted not just from love but also from sheer unwavering courage, and at that moment, they knew they were unstoppable. If you loved this conclusion, you need to subscribe to the channel now. This is the moment to show your support and not miss out on the next incredible stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and comment below with your thoughts and feelings about this ending. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Your support means the world.